Hello all our followers on YouTube. What we got here today, it's something that it's out for about 2 weeks. This is the Kraton 4S. Let's unbox it, show you in detail what there is inside. Now, like and subscribe somewhere right here and right there. Like, subscribe and press the bell icon. And if you missed it, we just gave a lot of gifts to other peoples and we actually showing it on our channel. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and write a nice comment. The other thing is, at the end of this video, look for the link. I'm gonna make a comparison between the 4S and the 3S vehicle to see what they actually change. I know they changed the ESC, they changed a couple other things, but let's do a little bit research so we're all gonna be smart about it. Let's open it up. Pretty big. Okay, so when you open it up, again, it's come with a nice nylon on the top. It's actually really pretty. It's metallic white with red. It's a really nice design. Let's pull it out, put it right there. Let's see what else we get on this big box. We get the Spektrum remote. Spec really nice. Okay, this is the remote that this is come with. It's a very simple remote. It has the position of 50%, 75% and 100%. This is excellent for beginners. If you are beginners, you're going to need to use that. You don't want to launch it like a rocket and destroy your car on the first run. Let's put this aside. This is not the interesting part, this remote. And let's see what we got here. To start, it's a nice size car. It's still, this one, it's not like the size of the 8 scale, it's a little bit smaller, but it's still very impressive. They did a very nice work on it, I think. For what the cost of them, they're approximately around like $400 or so, and we have them in our shop at MotoStyles. So contact me if you want any of those. We have them for a very good price in shop. We cannot even tell you the price, it's illegal. Let's open it up, see what there is underneath. So to start, the body is beautiful, and they added those pieces here. And those pieces here, I'm gonna try to figure out what they're doing, but I think that those are just when you land it upside down to prevent it from destroying the front of the vehicle. I used to do that with some of those ball joints on my RC cars to prevent damage. So this is a great idea. This is really cool piece over here. So those are kind of like their, let's say, call it frame sliders. It's preventing you from ruining the body. Okay, first thing that I see right away, they set up here the support bar on the top like they did in the new Kraton. It will prevent the body from flexing too much when you do jumps. Although this is plastic, this is not aluminum like the big brothers. I think it's still very cool. The frame look like the same frame that they're using right now for the Big Rock vehicle. The motor and ESC we're going to go over. It's very interesting. They gone back here to the EC5, to the two EC5 connectors, versus using the IC5 orange one that they start using on the bigger vehicle. I don't know why they did that, but it's very interesting. They put here some small capacitor, probably to prevent damage to the ESC. The ESC that come with this vehicle, it's 120 amp. They put a small fan also on the motor here. I'm gonna turn it in so you can see. There is a small motor right there. It looks like they just added a bigger cooling rib to the motor. The motor that we have here, it's 2400 kV. And this is actually very interesting. This looks like the regular motor that the 4-pole that come on the, actually on the 3S vehicle. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna go and compare it and put like a side note. It's coming with a 15 kilogram steering servo and a servo saver, and of course what they did over here, they have metal spare gear over here, and they did the motor mount. It's gonna be kind of easier to pull out, but it's not the same motor mount that you get on the bigger Kraton that you can just slide it off. So this is something that you're probably gonna want to know. Now, This is all nice, and I think it's okay vehicle. I'm gonna compare it later with the Big Rock because they're very similar kind of in a way. Couple things that I see that I think that they should have changed. Those shocks, those cheap shocks, I think that those things should, when they up the price and actually create something new, I think that they should get rid of those plastic shocks. They really don't last that long, and the performance from those are not that great. In addition, the wire, something that I saw right away, those 12 gauge wire, some people will say, oh, it's more than enough for sale, but I think that like a thicker wire will work much better in preventing everything to overheat, because if you're looking over here like in the motor wires and everything, they are all 12, but if it was a little bit thicker, it will just work much better and we have less problem with heating. Inside the battery bay, it's a pretty small battery bay. You're gonna need to put here two 2S batteries, or if you're gonna use one 4S battery, you're gonna have to make a jumper plug over here. Let me see, maybe there's one in the bag. Nope, there is no jumper in the bag, so you're gonna have to use two small batteries or to use a jumper to make it into a 4-cell. Overall, it's a very nice vehicle. It's have the wheelie bars. You're definitely going to need it on a 4S. These are going to be monsters. Those tires, they're pretty nice. We're going to need to test it and see in 4S if they're not going to balloon too much. But again, this is going to be part of the testing that we're going to do on it. Most of the parts that I see over here, the body tower, the support, it's all coming from other vehicle that Arrma currently is introducing to the market. I really like those vehicles, especially as a business owner. I would rather sell you something like this than sell you a Traxxas Slash, for example. And the reason is because you get more for your money and it's much more durable. If you compare it to a Slash 4-wheel drive, the 4x4, without the battery and anything, and you compare it car to car and what you get, the Slash should be about $150 more than this, and it's not a better vehicle. So for all of those people that are addicted to Traxxas, you should start looking and do your research, because this will be much better alternative and it's much cheaper. This is my advice to you. You can take it or you can skip it, but listen to people that long enough in the hobby, it will save you a lot of money. Overall, very good looking vehicle. They haven't changed a lot on the drive shaft for the wheels over here. They're all the same drive shaft, they're all the same dog bones. The A-arms on those pretty massive, so they're gonna be good. It feels really good when you drop it, and I like to drop stuff on the glass counter, because on the glass counter, if something gonna be very rough, it's gonna break it to pieces. But this is actually pretty cool. Again, this is the new Kraton, the Kraton 4S. Now, watch, like, and subscribe. Don't forget it. I'm gonna do a comparison real quick with another vehicle. I'm gonna compare it actually to the Arrma Crew Cab, the Big Rock. It's just right here near me, so I'm gonna want to compare. I can do that actually right now if you just stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I'm not even gonna link another video. I'm just gonna do that all together, so you can stop here, go do your video game, or you just stay tuned right now. I'm gonna go grab the other car and we put it one near the other and see what they change. Pausing for a second. Okay, we are back. So we got those two guys. Let's show and compare what is the big difference between 3S, 4S. As you can see right away, this vehicle look much bigger, much wider. The wheelbase on this is much wider than the wheelbase of that. So the Arrma Big Rock is a little bit smaller, but I think that the center wheelbase one to another is the same wheelbase for the same frame. It's just longer arm. On the Arrma Kraton 4S, you will just have here longer arms, the lower A arm and the upper, versus the shorter one on the Big Rock. Performance wise and speed wise, they're both set up to do 50 miles an hour. Here you get 50 miles an hour on a 3S, here you get 50 miles an hour on a 4S. So this should be for your consideration. This is a little bit bigger. Let's open it up and show what there is inside. Okay, so when you open it right away, let's confirm no rods here. We have the rods over there. You can see that the shocks on here look a little bit more massive. I saw that it's the same shock, but I was mistaken. This is a little bit thinner than that. The tower is exactly the same tower that's holding it. This one is just a little bit elevated, so it's the same, kind of the same exact design. Frame wise, let's go run those two. Frame wise and motor mount, I 100% convinced that it's exactly the same. I don't see any change. If you look very good, there's no change. We do have here another cooling fan that we don't have on that one. Again, there is the rods over here, and then the ESC. This one is 100 amp ESC. This is 120 amp ESC. Over here we have a single EC5. Over here we have a dual EC5 for 4S. This is for just 2S and 3S. When we keep looking around the vehicle, this motor it's a smaller motor. This one is the 3200 kV, and this one was the 2400 kV. So this motor will have more power. I saw that they may be the same, but this is a stronger motor. Let me do this. I'm gonna pick up the camera and go around in details. I know that a lot of you guys like when I do that, and you can see more details of what there is in those cars. So let's take the camera real quick and go over here. Okay, 3S, this is again the Arrma Big Rock Crew Cab. So when you look at it, ESC, it's a 100 amp ESC. It's right there. See it right there. Steering servo, this is a 7 kilogram steering servo. Those steering servo break pretty easy, so you're gonna want to upgrade to a 15 anyway. Motor, let's go and see if you can see the motor over there. There it is. Let's see, can I zoom a little bit more for you guys? 3200. This is a 3200 kV BLX motor. It's a 4-pore motor. And then you go over here and you see that it's kind of the same, very close motor mount. This one have a plastic spare gear versus the other one that will have the aluminum. Center drive shaft is here, is exactly the same. It's probably even the same part number. The battery bay is exactly the same. The general frame is exactly the same. And if you look from the side, the wheelbase is exactly the same. This one, the new Kraton, just have bigger wheels on it. So those bigger wheels with the bigger arms and a little bit bigger shocks make it look a little bit beefier. Now when you go and you look over here, 120 amp ESC. Right here, your steering servo, it's a 15 kilogram. It's not a 7, it's a 15. And over here they added a small fan that will help a lot to cool your engine, especially the motor, the brushless motor. And when you look over here, let's zoom a little bit more. 2400 kV motor, and this one is a 4-pole motor, so it's going to be a little bit stronger. Let's go out and show different features. Now they have here the new support bar that they added, and of course the remote are completely different. On this vehicle you get the tactic remote. This one you're gonna get that remote, that it's the Spektrum. I think they're both very cheap remote that you should replace them anyway, but this is what they give it with the vehicle. Now those both vehicles are great. I think that this is what we're concentrating today on. This is the new Kraton, the Kraton 4S. I think it's a great for the money. It's gonna cost you about $100 more than the Big Rock. And if you compare it to any of the Granada Brushless or any of the other vehicle, it's a little bit better vehicle, a little bit stronger and a little bit buffier and bigger. Also it's have a nicer body. So I think for this, for the money, it's definitely worth the money. We're gonna check performance wise how it's gonna do, and then we're gonna soup it up a little bit more. It's gonna be very interesting to try to put inside of it a little bit bigger motor with a bigger ESC and see how it can take the abuse. Actually, if the gearbox over here gonna be able to take the abuse since they got with a metal spare. So we're back again real quick. I just wanted to put two vehicles one near the other, to show you guys value. This vehicle right now is the new Arrma Kraton. So this Arrma Kraton is about $400, plus minus. Again, depend where you buy it. This is the Arrma Notorious or Outcast, it depend whatever color design you get. It's exactly the same vehicle. Wheelbase, they are exactly the same wheelbase. It's kind of surprising, but they're exactly the same wheelbase if you compare the wheels. Just this one is a little bit more beefier vehicle, 6S of course, and this thing is going for about between $100 and $150 more than that. What you get with this is going to be a 6S brushless motor. Of course, you're going to look at the frame and you get aluminum frame, aluminum shocks, and other goodies like a sliding motor mount, support, and other thing that you see in the bigger vehicle. Now, the question is, if you want a vehicle that big that needs 6S brushless electric system, that will cost you, the battery is going to be very expensive because you need 2 big batteries and you need big charger, and you have this vehicle need only kind of like 2 smaller batteries or 1 big 4S batteries. So it's all depend what you're going to want. I just want to compare it real quick to give you a little bit something to think about. This is Eric at RC Monster Garage MotoStyle Hobby Shop. Like, subscribe, and share so we can show you more good stuff. Don't forget, we have gift coming up. See you next video.